rainfall, which we so desperately needed to at least chip away at the drought or not allow it to get any worse. Now this morning we're starting off pretty dry and comfortable, 62 degrees right now, same exact temperature we woke up to yesterday morning. Winds are nice and calm. However, I'm keeping a close eye on the dew point. That is the measure of moisture. Anytime the dew point temperature gets close to the actual air temperature, we start to track visibility. No issues around IAH in case you were headed to the airport bright and early this morning. However, for our western cities and counties, Columbus, Wharton, down to Angleton, visibility has dropped below the safe threshold, which is 2 miles visibility out ahead of you. So be careful this morning. Have your low beam lights on. Give yourself extra time to get to where you're going. Another little pocket of visibility trouble near Hobby, but closer towards St. Kima along the bay. And then another pocket that I'm watching comes up, especially by around 8 o'clock in the morning. I don't think the low-lying cloud cover, which is fog, should be an issue. However, you will see some cloud cover until about lunchtime. Bright sunshine this afternoon, Jen. No rain in sight yet. We've got another chance for storms. And that front, bringing in the good stuff, some cooler air.
I like what I hear.
Hovering over that same spot day after day after day. Jeez. So even before this landfall, it has been bringing down the torrential downpours. Yeah. They've had flooding from infrared satellite imagery. The structure of Hurricane Melissa, it is really symmetrical. Anytime you see a perfect circle pretty much in a really well-defined eye like that, you know it is a very powerful storm, and you obviously can tell by how much the strength has increased. 160 miles an hour. It's moving west very slowly, which is also bad news because it's going to hover around Jamaica for a long time. So here's the latest track, making an impact later this morning for a landfall by this afternoon. It continues its track closer towards Cuba as we go into tomorrow. Still a major Cat 3 hurricane, and then it continues off towards Turks and Caicos as a Cat 2. It is expected to move off to the eastern seaboard, having no more land interaction, but this is going to take several days. And like you saw, the predictions now take us closer towards 30 inches by landfall. Wind speeds are going to be constant throughout the afternoon and evening, at least at 60, 70, 80 hurricane force strength. Obviously, as the storm pushes through the heart of Jamaica throughout today into tomorrow, and then moving on to hurricane force impacts for Cuba throughout Tuesday, and then making its push towards Turks and Caicos by Wednesday, taking those hurricane force winds along with it. So this is a long stretch for those communities. We'll watch closely. 62 degrees at the door this morning here locally. Temperatures are nice and mild, really similar start to yesterday. Winds are calm, but there is some moisture out there, and that is producing some low-lying cloud cover, which we call fog. So visibility is reduced in a couple areas. Columbus has now dropped to 0. Doesn't mean that you can't see anything out ahead of you, but you're now just reduced to a couple hundred feet. A quarter of a mile visibility for Wharton and 3/4 for Angleton. Another area to monitor is Conroe. So if you are waking up with us this morning in any of those spots, having your morning coffee, maybe you take it to go because you're going to have to go nice and slow out on the roads. Do not rush this morning and have those low beam lights on. This afternoon, plenty of sunshine. The high makes it up to 84 degrees. And then we've got some major changes ahead. A 40% chance for rain tomorrow, and it's not just any ordinary rain-making front. It is a true fall front. Look at how it drops our temperatures from 82, our high tomorrow, to 72, our high on Wednesday. So check out Future Track. The rain is going to start to roll in by tomorrow afternoon. So that's a snapshot at 3 o'clock in our northern cities and counties from Huntsville through downtown by 5. So pencil that in your mental note that you're going to have a slowdown as you're commuting back home. That front gets to the coastline quickly by 6:30, and then the good stuff starts to roll in, which is the big temperature drop. Our morning lows are going to drop into the 50s. 59 to start off on our Wednesday, 54 on Thursday, and look at Halloween Friday. We're going to scrape the 40s for starts, and that high temperature only makes it up to 72 degrees, Jen. So all of the pumpkin spice lattes, the fall sweaters, the vests, they'll be out there. I can't wait to see everybody's fall fashion.
Yeah, I'd say, or have that party here with some very good news.
Yeah, you're not dreaming. It's going to happen. I know. The weather's been a lot more active here. This weekend, we got some rain. Finally, across the area, 1 to 3 inches widespread. And then some pockets saw even higher totals. So around the Katy Freeway, 4 Jersey Village, 290 saw a pocket close to 4 inches. So did Bush Intercon. Tomorrow, though, another rain chance, and this one is the one that brings us the good stuff. This will finally drop our temperatures, and yes, a lot of us will break into the 40s during our morning starts. So we're gonna have to dress a little bit differently moving forward, at least for the end of October. That'll be really, really nice. So we go from 82 tomorrow to a high of 72 on Wednesday. The one thing I do want you to be conscientious about this morning is the potential of some early morning fog. So visibility issues right now are being highlighted for our western cities and counties. So this is Colorado to Wharton down to Brazoria. So Angleton, you can see about a mile out ahead of you. Just make sure you've got your low beam lights on and just take it nice and slow. Throughout the day, that fog burns away. We're going to see a mixture of sun and clouds through about lunchtime, and then lots of sunshine. So this is what it looks like on Future Trek. Nice and clear for this afternoon. Tomorrow morning, more cloud cover starts to build in, but this isn't just fog. This is clouds ahead of the front. Shower activity starting to pick up the pace in the afternoon. Huntsville, 3:30, downtown, 5 o'clock, and then by 6:30, the rain is along the coastline. So this is a fast-moving front, but it is going to have lots of impact. There's that fog.
Exactly.
Okay, walk us through that.
This week. Good morning, Kim.
Yes, at least we know we're going to win in some department. Hope for the weather there is for winning that jackpot. 62 degrees at the door this morning, so the exact same temperature as yesterday. The fall air isn't here just yet. And in fact, we've got a little bit of trouble because of the very calm conditions. Anytime there's calm wind, well, then we see the ground level moisture start to condense, and there's nothing to blow it out of the way. So more and more areas are seeing some visibility issues. Reduced visibility for Huntsville down to Conroe and Tomball. We're seeing 2 miles out ahead of you. Pearland, just west of you, you're seeing a pocket of red, which means in Angleton too. So take it nice and slow this morning. For this afternoon, though, it is smooth sailing, about as calm of a day as can be, which is nice for the start of the week. By noon, we're starting to drop that cloud cover, and the high temperature makes it up to 84 degrees. No rain today, and there is another rainmaker to watch. This is on Tuesday afternoon, but you're gonna like this one. When you see the rain, just know that the cooler temps are not far behind. Future Track radar shows us, yes, while we've got low-lying cloud cover this morning giving us fog, that lifts by this afternoon. Gorgeous day. More cloud cover rolling in for our Tuesday, and this one is ahead of the front that's coming in. So by 3:30, showers in Huntsville. The line drops down towards the city center by 5 o'clock. By the way, I say a line, but no severe weather is expected. No excess rain is expected. You could definitely hear some loud rumbles of thunder, see some lightning, but that's pretty much it. By 7 o'clock, that's along the coastline, and we are done and roll in the cool temps. So today, 84 above average. We should be in the upper 70s now. We'll be well below that Wednesday all the way through Saturday. So Halloween on Friday will be nice and chilly. It'll be a good feeling, but temperatures are well below. We're kind of smack dab in the middle there, and that's your outlook all the way through the start of November. Now, in terms of rainfall, we got some good widespread 1 to 3 inches of rain across the area for IAH, which is our official recording station. That's a spot that accumulated a little bit more than 2 inches. So for the month of October, we've had close to 3 inches, still falling about 2 behind the threshold for the month. For the year, we're still 10 inches behind, and it's not looking very promising. Through the first week of November, we're looking at drier conditions here in the continental U.S., at least a good chunk of it. Now, for the Atlantic Basin, we are keeping a really close eye on Hurricane Melissa. Major, powerful Cat 5 storm, buzzsaw, very clear center of circulation. moving towards the west at 3 miles an hour, slow. So it's going to have impacts for a number of days, and Jamaica is on the dirty side, the east side of the storm, which means not only torrential rain, but a really, really strong storm surge as that wind gets brushed up against Jamaica, but then working their way towards Cuba and eventually to the Bahamas. Hurricane force winds for all of those areas is something that we're going to keep a really close eye on. Now, 7-day forecast for us here at home shows really, really calm conditions. Notice but anymore. And look at that Friday forecast. Spooktacular, dare I say it, Jen. 40s for the morning low. I don't even know how to dress for that anymore. What are we going to wear?
Yeah, anything on how foggy we should expect this morning's drive.
You are especially inside the loop or the beltway. If that's where you head into work, you shouldn't see any low-lying cloud cover. However, if you are commuting from our western cities and counties, say you're coming in from Brenham, you're trying to go down towards Columbus, we have some pretty dense fog developing. The red means you can only see a couple hundred feet out ahead of you. So what do you need to do? Give yourself extra time. Get out the door early so you're not rushing, and have your low beam lights on. Why are we seeing that fog this morning? Well, the temperature is exactly where the dew point is. And when those two are very, very similar, there's a lot of moisture out there. It condenses and boom, you've got the low-lying cloud cover. Not to mention that the wind is calm, so it is going to take a couple of hours for those spots to see some clearing. Now by 9 o'clock in the morning, that starts to lift, and we're in for a gorgeous day. Mostly sunny skies, nice and warm today, but not for long. In fact, I am tracking your next front, bringing us a rain chance and a huge drop in temperatures. You're going to want to stick around for that, guys.
Okay, Kim.
Oh, it is, especially for our western cities and counties. That's going to be an issue until about 9 o'clock this morning. I'll show you the current Category 5. This is the highest category storm, 160 miles an hour. This is likely going to be the strongest hurricane that hits Jamaica, and it'll do that really, really late tonight into the overnight hours tomorrow. You'll see how defined the storm is. That's going to have major implications, especially as the storm tracks towards the west. It's Jamaica putting it on the dirty side, which is not only going to have torrential downpours anywhere between a foot to 3 feet of rain, but also a storm surge potential of up to 13 feet. Notice it maintains its major Cat 3 strength as it passes through Cuba, then eventually brings implications towards the Bahamas before curving out to sea and becoming a remnant low. Hurricane force winds begin late tonight and they continue through early tomorrow for Jamaica, then move on to Cuba, and then eventually even reaching the Bahamas, Turks and Caicos, as a Cat 2 hurricane force strength winds there as well. We are close to the end of hurricane season, thankfully, almost about 30 days away, and we will be glad to put that to rest. Now, we're at 84 degrees today, nice and calm. Tomorrow, 82 with a 40% rain chance, and that rainmaker is going to be nice. It's not going to bring us too much moisture. Notice tomorrow we have cloud cover building in the morning. By the afternoon, there's your front, 3:30 for Huntsville, 5:30 for downtown, and then by 7, it's along the coastline. Yes, we could pick up some quick downpours. You'll hear the rumble of thunder, but more importantly, this is going to be a temperature drop front. Mostly sunny and quiet for your Monday. There's the front that rolls in tomorrow. It's much stronger, and that way it'll drag in much cooler air out of the north just in time for Halloween. So what does that Halloween forecast look like? 72 for your high temperature on Friday, and if you're out and about in the evening, oh yeah, you could feel those 40s and 50s, and that is going to carry us for a number of days. So behind the front, we're already much cooler in the 50s Wednesday morning. Same thing for Thursday, 40s Friday morning, and by Saturday you are still enjoying gorgeous, gorgeous temperatures.
And maybe where it is right now.
Yeah, so it's way so far look okay, but I do want to caution you as you head out the door, you can run into some patchy, dense fog areas. That's especially true if you're waking up this morning on the west side. So if you're in Brenham, Columbus, Warren, Angleton, those spots are seeing some heavy, dense fog, visibility down to about a quarter of a mile. mile, and then it gets much better as you go into the city. Now there's a stretch near Tomball that also has some problems. Temperature-wise, 61 degrees. We're a little cooler than where we were yesterday, down by 2 degrees. Wind is nice and light. Now this afternoon, we get rid of the cloud cover, not just at the surface, which is the fog, but also up ahead. You're going to see mostly sunny skies, and that will make for a nice warm day. Your high temperature makes it up to 84 degrees. Nothing to worry about today. Quiet. Tomorrow, a 40% chance for rain, but that's not the key player. Tomorrow, it's going to be all about the temperatures. I've got your trick or tremble forecast. You won't be shaking because it's scary. You'll be shaking because it'll be chilly. I'll have those details straight ahead.
All right. Okay, Kim, thank you.
In a slight improvement over the last 30 minutes. You can see half a mile out ahead of you, but that's still below the comfortable threshold. Anytime I see visibility below 2 miles out ahead of you, that means it's pretty dense over your particular area. So slow it down, keep your low beam lights on, and just be careful as you head into work. Now, downtown is not a problem right now. Most of Harris County is okay. Beautiful start to the day. We are going to have a gorgeous one ahead. So once this low-lying cloud cover starts to lift, which will happen when the sun starts coming up, that'll evaporate the moisture that's on the surface. We're in for a really nice day. Winds are nice and light. The sunshine will be out and about. The high temperature makes it up to 84 degrees. Now, while today is nice and quiet, tomorrow we're going to have some changes, but I think you'll like them. I'm tracking a front that's moving into the area. Yes, this will bring us some showers, but more importantly, it's a stronger front in the sense that it is going to drag in some air from the north, which will actually have some more long-lasting impacts to our temperatures, making for a really cool, comfortable Halloween. What we like to see this time of year is a nice fall feel, and we're going to get it. 72 degrees, that's your high temperature on Halloween. To have an outer layer, some good coats are going to be with you on that trick-or-treat journey. Future track radar shows us mostly clear conditions for this afternoon. Cloud cover starts to roll in again for tomorrow morning, and that's ahead of some showers. By 3:30, rain from Huntsville down to Montgomery, getting to the heart of the city, by about 5, 6 o'clock, of course, timing it out right for your commute home. So that's probably going to slow you down a bit. Then the rain starts pushing off towards the island by 7 o'clock. We could see a couple of heavier downpours. They'll be brief, and that's it. The good stuff rolls in. Now, if we do see some rain, it'll be a good thing, because so far for the month of October, we only saw that big rainy day on Saturday. So we're still about an inch and 3/4 below average for the month. For the year, more like 10 inches below average. Now, 10 inches is going to be on the lower end for what the island of Jamaica is expecting to get from Hurricane Melissa. On the high end, the area could receive up to 30 inches. This is a Category 5 hurricane. Now, I know the Atlantic season hasn't seen too many systems, but the ones that have having implications there, but then moving towards Cuba and eventually having major hurricane force winds even through the Bahamas. So this is a system I'll be watching throughout the week.
Okay, Kim, thank you very much.
Big changes to the 7-day forecast. Today's nice and quiet, but we have a front moving in tomorrow. Yes, it brings us a couple scattered storms in the afternoon, but look at what else it brings along with it. A good big drop in temperatures, 50s in the morning, maybe even breaking into the 40s by Halloween day, those highs in the low 70s, and no rain in sight. So nice and comfortable. All the fall gear will be with us this week, Jen.
Oh.